All right. Oh my God. A lot of people are hanging out. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first stream in like 6 months. Oh my God. How's the voice to music ratio? Is it good? Right. Oh, stream still going? Are we still live? All right, nice. Cool. So yeah, guys, it's been a while. I feel like this is gonna start being a weekly thing again. Now that like dad life is kind of tamed down, COVID life isn't as crazy as it used to be, and you know, whatever. I haven't been spending a ton of time in my office where I do the whole ad thing just because it's 90 degrees in here, all that crap. Hence, not a lot of videos and all that junk. But yeah, now it's finally cooling off. So it's so good to see you all. Stephen G, Captain Rex Ryan, Blue Gangsta off the cliffs, Real Farm Boy, what's up? Elijah, Kylo Ren's in the house. I wish you had an icon on that. Molly Thompson, what's up? Or Thomas Thompson. So yeah, I want to talk about The Mandalorian because so much freaking information is coming out right now about this. And then the Ray Park thing just happened, which I don't know all the details about that stuff. It seems sort of up in the air as to what exactly happened, but I'd say regardless to say, holy crap, what a day that was. What's up, Alex? But it seems like from what I'm reading and what I'm seeing and a lot of things that are just coming to light, I just feel like so excited for season 2 and primarily because of Moff Gideon. I feel like, I don't know if you guys watched that or read one of the articles where he's talking about what he could be in season 2. That's what I kind of want to talk about with you guys. Do we think Moff Gideon is going to be force sensitive? Because he said that he's going to be maybe one of the ones. Something like that, right? Hey, Scott, thanks, man. Yeah, busy. That's what I've been. Hope you've been all right, too. So yeah, Moff Gideon holding the Darksaber. I personally have this feeling like, yes, I think that in some way Moff Gideon will be able to tap into the Force. In the whole tease at potentially some lightsabers crossing, I mean, we've all heard about Ahsoka, right? And I haven't really seen a lot of more information other than what's already been leaked or supposedly rumored to be coming out. Oh, thanks so much, Endless Star Wars. Oh, Captain Rex, let me just answer that real quick. Did I see Esposito got nominated for Emmy? Yeah, dude, today. So that's also a great day to be talking about Mando because they just like got nominated for so many awesome things, and like they deserve every single nomination they get. They fundamentally changed filmmaking. Like I get some of this technology was in the back of George Lucas's minds like years ago for Star Wars Underworld, but now it's here. Yeah, Taika's episode is amazing. It's so good. But what I really hope is, or I guess my expectations are, all right, so we've had like season 1, and now we're starting to get all these main players coming into Mando dads, right? What I want to see kind of happen, or at least my expectation with the Ahsoka, Bo-Katan, whoever the hell is going to be Maul, or whatever the hell's going on, I don't know, or like, what I think is going to happen is, A, it's not really going to be Boba Fett. I think it's going to be the guy from the Aftermath trilogy. Can't remember his name right now. I think it's just going to be that guy. I think what's going to end up happening is maybe those dudes team up, they find Bo-Katan, and through Bo-Katan, they find out where they can bring the child, Baby Yoda, whatever his real name is, and that's how we lead to Ahsoka. Because of Ahsoka, Cobb Vanth. There we go, Elijah. Thank you. I don't know why I can't remember that name. Like every time I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, because of corn on the cob, Cobb Vanth. That's how I remember it. Anyways, so I feel like we're gonna lead to Ahsoka because of Bo-Katan, and because of then perhaps Boba Fett, which would be Cobb Vanth. And then I think the child will be handed over to Ahsoka, right? Somebody with the Force. But what's going to happen is the ultimate showdown between Ahsoka and potentially Moff Gideon. That's my expectation. And is it ridiculous? What do you guys think? Do you feel like Ahsoka is going to have like her big moment as like an ultimate face-off against the Moff? Wait, Lord Vader's here? Oh yeah, he's back. How does it feel to have your redemption arc ruined? I'm just kidding. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's like rural farm boy. Speculate healthy. That's definitely a thing I keep in the back of my mind. 99% of what I think is going to happen won't happen. But what I think is so interesting is just the way he phrased that one little quote about like why he has a saber and who he could be. Is he force sensitive? And I'm like, it just leads me down a rabbit hole of what could he be doing? Like, who is this guy? I definitely think he was really part of the Empire. I mean, wears a cape. I think he wants to be Darth Vader. It would be interesting to find out, like, if he was almost an Inquisitari, but maybe just not skilled enough. But who knows? And the Star Wars asks, am I hyped for Hayden to come back for Star Wars Kenobi? Well, I hope it's true, and the answer is yes. I just don't know if Hayden Christensen is acting. Is he? Is Hayden Christensen like interested in acting still? I mean, I'd be all for it. And specifically, I would love for whatever those moments to be almost like if he is in the series, to be like moments that break meditation in Obi-Wan, where like the past comes in to haunt his current awareness, something like that. Like he sees glimpses of Anakin, like in a newer, more realistic-looking environment, Mustafar. You know, Revenge of the Sith, you know, looks amazing at the end, but there's still a little bit of that plasticiness to it. It'd be cool to see that environment, potentially mild recreations of scenes from that last fight happen in the volume. So that would be pretty neat. He still does movies, okay. I didn't know. Oh, Rural Farm Boy, what's up with the Gamorrean guards? Yeah, so, you know what's funny about that? I was just staring at my Gamorrean guard earlier today as I was cleaning up my office. I have like the Black Series one, just like the animalistic dude. And then I was looking at the maquette of the Gamorrean guard that's going to be doing whatever the heck they're doing. I'm just assuming that that's just going to be another episode, kind of like with Cara Dune when she was fighting. I can't remember the name of the planet now. I'm a horrible Star Wars fan. The name of the planet from episode 4. What was that called? So I think it's going to be maybe something like that, where like the Mando has to fight a Gamorrean guard. I think that will be amazing. And that actually leads me to another point, but let me look at a few comments here. I don't want to lose you guys in case somebody's asking me anything. Oh, Elijah. What are my thoughts on the Lando rumors? So, I very much so trust the dudes like Corey Van Dyke and Noah Outlaw, Kessler on transmissions. I still take everything with a bit of salt, or a grain of salt, because I'm like, you know, it's not on the official page yet, so I don't know how much emotional investment to put into the ideas coming out from like even Conrad, all those guys. What I do think is that something is really being planned, for sure. Does that end up being filmed? Question mark. I think it would be silly for there not to be some sort of... I think it would be silly for there not to be some kind of follow-up to Solo, because there's clearly a huge desire for that. It's one of the best reviewed Star Wars movies on Amazon. So, oh, Barker fans, the mic's not sounding as good. It's probably because it's going through OBS. When I do my regular VOs, it's professionally treated. So this is just raw VO nonsense. What I could try could try turning off my fan, see if that helps. But yeah, like pretty much everything that I've seen sounds reasonable. It sounds awesome. It sounds fun. But if there is a Lando series, Solo series, or follow up to Solo, which for somebody like me, like I desperately want, it has to do a couple of things. First, Lando needs to figure out how not to, or Donald Glover, who did a great job as Lando, I want him to kind of figure out his own way of being Lando, rather than just a really amazing impersonation of Lando, if that makes sense. And the other big thing is I need a lot of Enfys Nest and just stuff like that. So I think they did a really good job with like this the weird of Star Wars. Sorgan. Okay. Jeez, guys. My brain's so fried. To be honest, I'll tell you guys what I've been up to for the last months before I answer a few more of these questions. So, as you know, I've been doing a lot of work with Cinematic Captures, who made 2 short films recently, and I did all the audio work on it, along with a little bit of help from him. So, been very busy doing that stuff. And then with this COVID madness, like, I'm sure you guys are all feeling it. You're just like, what the hell's going on? We're stuck at home. We could do a couple of things out in the town, but ultimately it's not much, it's not much going on. So I've kind of felt that, and I've kind of like needed to escape the AT-AT office mentally. So that's why I took a month break. I was like, I can't be in this room anymore. I'm working in here. I'm making Star Wars stuff in here. I just need to be out of it. So the fun transition for me was like, let's just do something else and help out on Cinematic Captures. And holy crap, what a ridiculously talented dude. Have you guys all seen the short, the Order 66 short, and the Not Alone short that just came out? I mean, it's unbelievable. He sends me these renders and he's like, here it is. And I'm like, what? This looks like a movie. So yeah, like that dude blows my mind. I'm so happy to be working on that kind of stuff. Just in the interim. Oh, nice, thanks. Yeah, appreciate you guys understanding too. I mean, it kills my channel, which sucks. Like, you guys know, algorithm nonsense. Not uploading for a month. It's like, all right, we're just not going to push your content. That's fine. I have fun doing this for you guys. Like I said, this is going to be a weekly thing going on. Finally, again, now that I don't hate my office. So, anyways, somebody asked earlier what I thought of Attack of the Clones. Like really thought of it. I'll put it this way. I think that the first act of Attack of the Clones is pretty amazing. Oh, Anakin Skywalker, you're new. Well, welcome, and happy to have you here. I'm kind of a generalized, I do just a lot of general things. Not exactly lore or anything, but you'll see. And sometimes I talk a lot of shit about people. No, I'm just kidding. I just make a lot of funny, weird stuff, and hopefully they're good. But yeah, I think like Attack of the Clones is one of those equally good, equally bad, high highs, low lows kind of thing. I guess some people equate TLJ that way. They're like, same thing. But I think the first act of Attack of the Clones is actually like brilliant. And in my next video that I'm dropping, which is on the deleted scenes I think should have stayed in the Star Wars films. I got almost one per film except for one original trilogy one. I decided to do 2 original trilogy deleted scenes, but throw into the mix. But like overall, the first act is great. It's really just the middle for me that it's kind of the middle for me is just super boring. Doesn't mean that like the story's bad, because I love reading the book version of it too. And then I think the end is great. So it's really just like, it's like 2/3 of a good movie, kind of, I guess is the way I put it. But it's still Star Wars, so at the end of the day, I like it, if that makes sense. And yeah. And then the Bad Batch. I've read nothing about the Bad Batch. And the reason is I actually am not sure if I'm interested. At first I was like, oh, this could be cool if it's as good as, last season of the Clone Wars, which honestly made me more emotional than The Rise of Skywalker, which surprised me, shocked me, and also made me happy because something ended in a way that was emotionally satisfying for me in Star Wars. So, I don't know. I like the Bad Batch. To me, they are the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles of the Star Wars galaxy. I like the idiosyncrasies. However, they weren't my least enjoyable of Season 7, but they were just kind of like, I don't know. I don't know how to put it. They weren't bad, and they weren't horrible. They just weren't exactly amazing. Like, or maybe that's because the last 4 episodes were just ridiculous. I don't know. So, I'm still going to watch it. So, I'm most likely going to still do reviews on each one, too. Like, why not? I mean, might as well. Star Wars is Star Wars. Even the bad stuff sometimes is mostly good. Hold on one second, guys. Yeah, Alex, I said that earlier. I think the Kenobi series, I mean, I'm excited for anything that is going to be coming to Disney Plus. As we've seen with The Mandalorian, it's almost like imagination is the limit of what you can do with these Disney Plus shows. You get the right people involved, you get the right kind of attitude at on what the show should be, and then you, I can't state this enough. It's ridiculous how perfect The Mandalorian is from concept to execution. It's ridiculous, and I mean that even in a production standpoint. It's changed the world on how things are going to be made. So that's amazing to me. And the other thing I think with these Disney Plus shows and stuff, which I hope they continue to do really well, is give us aliens. One of my biggest gripes with the sequel trilogy movies, and maybe just all of Star Wars except for the original trilogy, there's not enough aliens, like just visible in frame doing actionable events, if that makes sense. A lot in the Clone Wars and animated stuff, but like The Mandalorian really was like, nah, you're getting an Ugnaught, you're going to see a bunch of these weird aliens in a bar, and they're actually going to be bounty hunters, they're all going to gang up on the Mando, and like, that's the stuff that I really love. And I don't shy away from admitting that, like, the superficial alien, like, diegetic, lived in world stuff is just the stuff that really takes me. It's the stuff that makes me obsessed with Star Wars, almost more than the story sometimes. So, if they do that, I'm excited. I want to see weird-ass aliens in the volume. Oh yeah, no, Endless Star Wars, I don't deny, like, everything that we have. Alex, no worries, man. Take care. Thanks for popping by the stream. I know this is a random one for now, so these will be more frequent and more consistent. So, yeah, George Lucas definitely, if anybody ever denies that George Lucas changed the film industry, they're insane. Is he the greatest director in the world? I don't think so. But did he change the world? Absolutely. Did the prequels change the world? 110%. Did the original trilogy create the modern blockbuster? Absolutely. I mean, these are things that a lot of us know. But finally, we have something beyond, like, the ability to recreate the look of the 70s with today's technology. A way to actually create environments that don't even exist. That it's just crazy, right? You can place somebody in a box and use a game engine to create your environment, and that's what cinematic captures is doing, right? Like, that's what is so boggling to the like now people on, regardless of levels in industry, right? You have access to something that's amazing, that has never been as easily accessible like this anymore. So it just blows my mind. Like Unreal Engine, that rendering engine is so fun. Sorry I keep swearing for all the youngers. I don't know. I probably got nobody that's super young in here. Yeah, Judge. What's up, Judge? I was going to say, I do wonder if these shows are going to kind of go this MCU route, because they didn't end up doing that with the anthology films, which is a bummer. Because, like, I actually just rewatched Rogue One and Solo. Like, I usually don't watch Rogue One often, but now I'm kind of changing my tune about it a little bit. I enjoyed it a lot this time around. But yeah, I kind of wish that they kept doing those. It's just stupid marketing that kind of effed that all up. What's up, Emo? Emo Fire Breather. I love it. That should be a band name. Captain Rex. Dude, you're my #1 captain. How you doing? I just voted on, well, I guess I voted. I decided on my Twitter the other day that clone troopers are in fact the best troopers. Feel free to disagree, but you're wrong. But yeah, yeah, you're good. Awesome, dude. Yeah, it's surreal to like be back in the streaming realm. It's funny, like I'm still, you know, oiling the gears here. I'm not used to sitting and talking like this, but yeah, this is fun. I just wish I had a beer. How do I feel about Legos? Well, they hurt my feet. My son, who's 2.5 almost, can almost put Legos together. Lego Star Wars. This might sound insane to you guys. I've never seen Lego Star Wars. Well, that's an interesting question. I love that. Yeah, you know what? This is why I love the streams. It's like, let's talk about the Mandalorian to this completely other topic, and I love it. I love you guys. So this is from Endless Star Wars. Who do you think is the most attractive in Star Wars? Well, out of the humans, I'd have to go with Padme. And I've always had a crush on Natalie Portman since I was a youngin'. Always will, always have. In terms of aliens, I guess we're going Lando and pansexualness. Let's see. I guess that dancer in Jabba's palace. But, you know, she got eaten, so that's that. Oh, the Chosen One, thanks so much. Yeah, it has been a while, man. Yeah, everybody's doing well. 2 little kiddos, I think, are about to be asleep right now. My wife's being awesome, putting them both to sleep. And I'm here talking to you, chilling. But yeah, I would say Padme, and I don't know the name of the lady in Jabba's palace. But yeah, and Claude. You know, Claude has a lot of fingers on his face, so you don't know what he could be good at. You never know. Let's see, maybe he'll be in a sequel somewhere. Story of Claude, A Face Journey. If I had to go by wide-chested people, Ben Solo wins. But yeah, that's kind of a hard question. Yeah, that's so funny, Elijah from earlier. Don't talk about the strategy of Solo. It was bad. But it doesn't take away from the fact, I swear to God, if you go on to Amazon.com or Amazon Prime and you look at Solo and you see the reviews, it's like almost 5 out of 5 for like 5,000 reviews, which I'm like, what? Holy crap. Oh, interesting, Chosen One. So the Mandalorian Season 2 is going to be more of like a setup for live action shows like other ones. That would be very interesting. So like, they're all cross, like somebody said this earlier, maybe like an MCU style show thing, but maybe like they're all kind of crossing over. It could get confusing. So that actually brings up a good point that I had on my list of things to talk about, which I've completely abandoned. One thing I am like slightly weary of is the loss of focus on the Mandalorian. Din Djarin, right? The only thing I want to make sure is that, and I trust Dave Filoni, I trust Jon Favreau, I don't want it to be like, all right, episode 1, but boom, here's this person who's now going to distract me from what the Mandalorian mission is, right? And like, we didn't have that many surprises in season 1 beyond Baby Yoda. And now we've been told about almost 4 potential surprises in the show in some way or another, with the tease of Moff Gideon potentially having the Force. So I just want to make sure that, like, even though those are great characters that need live action screen time, that are to come back to live action, you know, it'll be Ahsoka's first time. what's his name, Tamura. He's going to be his 4th live-action Star Wars, I guess. Just 2 prequels and then this, unless he did some voice acting for the Clone Wars, which I wouldn't know. I don't know too much about the back end of the Clone Wars. But yeah, like, well, that's the thing, build up. It just it comes from people that like are mostly reliable, that I trust, but who knows if it's actually just something that's being discussed behind closed doors, or if it's actually being filmed. So that's like what I don't know. And I know that in a couple of weeks we're supposed to be getting a trailer for real. So I guess we'll find out then what's really going on. Yeah, Charles, or Chad. I just put your first and last name together, Chad Harless, and I put Charles in my head. So that's my hope. I hope Ahsoka does something amazing, but like isn't like gonna distract from Mando. And the other thing that I think would be kind of interesting too is if Mando somehow wielded the Darksaber for a while. Maybe that's way down the line. Maybe something even more epic is going to be planned for Din Djarin. Who knows? And the other thing too is, since he's a foundling, like, do we find out more about his heritage and what it means? You know, when just who knows? There's just so much potential with the series, but like somebody pointed out earlier, I just don't want the focus to be off of the Mandalorian and his task, you know, to get Baby Yoda, for lack of, we don't know what to call him yet still, or her, like to get that thing, the child, to its people or the Force users, right? I mean, they already, like they say, you set up the payoff in the final act in the first act, right? They're already talking about sorcerers, so it's got to happen. Got to see some Jedi, maybe even some Sith. It would be unbelievable to see a bit of the dark side in season 2, but I don't want to speculate. The Empire is almost dark side enough. I mean, I think everything in season 1 is almost perfect, and it's a bold statement. The only episode I thought was very lackluster would be the one with Toro Calican, is that his name? Yeah, that one didn't really do it for me, but cosmetically, still a great looking show, or great looking episode. Dude, Molly Thomas, if they actually continued some stories right after Tross to make sense of a couple of things, I would appreciate it. So Anna, that's exactly what I'm guessing, is like maybe through his journey, maybe the Mandalorian, Din Djarin, is going to be tracking down the child's people, realizes this person he's come across, who is Ahsoka, is Force sensitive, just like he found out the baby is, and he's like, you can take him, right? Something like that. But like, obviously that's very specific, but I feel like maybe something along those lines has a large potential of happening. Hey, what's up, Luca? Welcome to the chat. Yeah, I think they're gonna show a Force user for sure. I mean, it's Star Wars. Yeah, imagine we finally find out where Yaddle's been all this time, and she's like, "Oh my God, thank you so much for returning my son. I haven't known where he was for the last 75 years." Imagine all of a sudden this turns into like a really terrible comedy about Yaddle. I don't want that at all, guys. I'm gonna switch this song because this song is boring. Here's a good one. Well, Endless Star Wars, I think, thanks so much, ASC10. I do think eventually Baby Yoda will be like, maybe like actually sent off to his people, but I do also really like the dynamic between the emerging father dynamic and son dynamic between the two of them. So it's hard for me to say if I want Baby Yoda gone, really. I kind of love Baby Yoda. Yeah. But yeah, I get it. A lot of people call it the Baby Yoda show, and that's kind of annoying to me as a fan. So. just catch up with some of the chat. Let me expand this. All right. The Chosen One. That would be hilarious. I want Baby Yoda to get a Beskar outfit and a little jetpack. Dude, I would love nothing more than a scene like that, or even a fanist to make that happen. Please make it happen. Henry Lewis, what is up? Welcome. Nice to see you here. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the bond is so important to me between the two of them, because that's straight up part of his redemption journey in my eyes in the first season, and I think there's going to be more. That's in store for Jin, I guess, or for Din Djarin. I'm saying Jin. Just watched Rogue One. Oh, here's a sad question. Oh, it just moved though. Oh, Emo Fire Breather. So, do I think they will bring back Ben Solo through the World Between Worlds? So first, yes, I wish Ben Solo lived. I do wish he was still somehow had a happy ending, but I also enjoy bittersweet things. So I don't know. But the reason I don't think, if he does come back, I think it's going to be way weirder than the World Between Worlds. And I don't think the World Between Worlds resurrects people, if that makes any sense, because I think the way it was presented with Ahsoka is, although you can affect time, it's still moving forward, right? So even though Ahsoka was plucked out of a time and then was in a place of no time, she eventually decided to continue to live her life from a certain moment forward, not really negating the flow of time itself. Because if there is only one track of time, and then we pluck Ben Solo back out from death and put him back into the wheel, something else has to come out of that wheel to compensate for Ben Solo being back. And who is that? That's Rey. So I feel like doing some sort of timey-wimey, pull him through the veil of Force, pull him through the World Between Worlds portal. Like, the only thing I can imagine, if it didn't cause some sort of ultimate galactic calamity where all of time breaks down, it would be an alt-universe kind of thing. I'm going to show that tree. It's fine to say, I wish Baby Yoda killed somebody. He might. He almost did. He almost killed Cara Dune. Andre, nice. Yeah, I like the sequels. I recently did Are They Good? I gave them a 7.3 out of 10 as a total grade, which sounds bad, I guess, but the first two were really awesome, and then the last one just didn't do it for me. Liked moments, liked vignettes, I liked how it looked. I had no problem with the blue, really, except for Force Ghost Luke. It looked like he was dipped in Lysol. But other than that, yeah, I like the sequels. I think people are a little too critical of them for monetary reasons. But other than that, yeah. Oh, let me read this from Endless Star Wars. Yeah. It's a cool thing. I will give you that. I do think the World Between Worlds is one of the most interesting things introduced in Star Wars. I just don't want to mess with the flow of time. That makes sense. I also just started watching Dark, or I finished watching Dark. I watched it almost twice because my wife's watching it with me now. And I just don't want to mess with time. Messing with time freaks me out now. I don't want Ben Solo's peaceful Force Ghost existence with his mom and Uncle Luke. Maybe they're playing hollow chess up in heaven. Who knows? Maybe Kylo Ren's or Ben Solo's forever pranking Uncle Luke up in Force Ghost land. Who knows? But I don't know. I wish that he had more to do in that last act of the movie to give me more Ben Solo. It just is what it is. So that's fine, Felicity. Nobody has to love everything like how I like it. This is a friendly zone. As long as people are nice to each other, I don't care who likes or hates what. It doesn't matter to me. I talk about what I like, I give reasons why, and that's that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, time travel to me, thank God the time travel idea was incorrect, right? That would have been bizarre. The whole theory about Tross was that like JJ was going to do time travel. So I don't know. I would be so stressed. Yeah, no worries. Welcome to the tribe, Felicity. Wait, where is that? Streetlamp Studios. So, I mean, maybe I just didn't do enough research about all the lore for Mandalorian yet. I mean, I don't have a lot of time because I got the kids, my job. But so he really is part of House Vizsla by blood. From what I thought he was just part of like some random clan in like that like the Death Watch happened to get him. Like that's the way I always figured it was going, but I don't know. I could be wrong. So yeah, exactly, Molly. What's up, Gino? Oh my God. How do I say your name? Krang Clank? I'll just call you Crag Clank. I'll call you Crag. Crag, yes. There needs to be a substantive book that has to do with Ben Solo, his training, and more than what the comic did. I like Charles Soule's comic run. It wasn't enough for me. It wasn't enough. It felt like a peek at an answer, but you didn't really get enough, if that makes sense. Yeah, exactly, Rural. Endless Star Wars. That was the first time anybody's asked me that question. So, this might shock a couple people, but it doesn't mean I hate it. I think the ATM-6s were a little ridiculous. I don't think, but like, did they need to not be AT-ATs or AT-ATs? I'll call them AT-ATs because that's what people call them. But it would have been fine if it was just all AT-AT walkers to me. The ATM-6 looking like a gorilla with the gorilla scream and all that stuff. It was neat. It was okay, but ultimately, what I loved about the fact that those domineering ATM-6s existed was Luke standing in front of them as they're just there. Like, that's the best Star Wars image I can even imagine. Luke standing in front of the ATM-6s. It's like the best frame in Star Wars. I think, yeah. I would say that's the best frame in Star Wars of all time. Just one Luke Skywalker staring down all the ATM-6s. Oh, interesting. So, Endless Star Wars, I always thought that they were like based off of elephants, but yeah, I guess I could see the polar bear. Yeah, with the head, the body shape, for sure. But yeah, ATM-6s, I don't know. Like, I actually have a similar... Oh, man. I was just talking about my Discord with somebody. I was like, I haven't been in there in like 2 years. I should probably go in one day and just be like, hey, everybody, and then not go back for another 2 years. I know it's still up. Like, I have gone in as a random person before just to see if it was still active. But you know what? Let me write that down. I should bombard everybody and go into my Discord server. I need like a to-do list to remember anything now. All right. Yeah, so, well, see, my thing, I guess if we're talking about some sequel stuff right now, my thing about the sequels is, like, do I think that they are perfect movies? No, don't. But I also don't think any of the other Star Wars, with the exception of perhaps just, like, the first one being the one that really kicked it off as being perfect. But I will put like The Last Jedi and Empire Strikes Back in the #1 spot. Which people are like, how can you do that? That is illegal. Like, is that legal? Right? You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know. I look at these movies differently, I guess, than a lot of other people. I thought The Force Awakens was a very good kickoff. That felt very familiar. And it was like, okay, whatever. And I never denied that kind of idea that The Force Awakens was extremely similar to A New Hope. But in reality, it's really just extremely similar to the original trilogy. Every act is a different movie. TLJ to me was like the slap in the face I wanted as a fan, because I was like, all right, like, you know, I was actually getting shit for liking The Force Awakens when it came out, like a lot. Like one of my buddies, Dan, who was the guitarist in my band I used to tour with, my old band is called In the Meantime, from Massachusetts. So we used to tour all over the place. It was fun. Punk band, very fast. I played drums, wrote the music too. If I had a link, I'd link it in here. But yeah, he'd be like, dude, that movie's a piece of shit. And I'd just be like, oh, shut up. And I'd be like, why? And he's like, dude, it's just A New Hope. And I'm like, all right. And then finally, finally a movie came out that's just so weird and strange. Oh, dude, I've been in so many freaking bands. Way too many bands. I was also asked to play drums in a punk band called, why can't I remember the name right now? Bigwig. They were super fast, but I was like, I don't think I could play that fast. Although, yeah. You know what? Next time I do a stream, I'll drop some of the old punk rock stuff in here I used to do. Very good. And I'm not BSing you guys. We were really good at what we did. But I had kids, and I didn't want to play out at 2 a.m. anymore. So, yeah, sequels. I just feel like I do feel like, you know, maybe perhaps there was an issue with not creating enough of a sense of scale in regards to what is this new political system, Hosnian Prime. And that is something I think is a valid point of contention, right? Whatever. I also believe that looking back at this trilogy, I would have just made Starkiller Base the main threat throughout all 3 films, and it culminating on Exegol or whatever. You know, something like that. But at the end of the day, like, all these movies are kind of messy and goofy and silly and awesome, and all that matters to me is, like, did this movie make me really happy and make me think differently and open my mind up to other awesome ideas and just whatever. And if it did, yes, at any moment, I want to talk about it, and I liked it. Yeah, Zachary, like, that's one thing I will say. Compared, like, I will argue the OT has no world building either. It's just three or four worlds, right? But we can't really bash the originations of this universe for non-world building, right? Those first movies created the rest, right? So I feel like, yes, there could have been much more significant world building, but I honestly only feel that world building that's necessary is Hosnian Prime. That's it. I only think it needed to be explored in the first movie. That's about it. Like, just destroy that world. Destroy everything at the end of TFA. Make the end of TFA an ESP, right? And then the First Order reigns. But they haven't, and the reason they're reigning is because they haven't destroyed the biggest threat the galaxy's ever seen. And I guess that's the way I look at it. But, like, I don't know. I'm just some fucking idiot on the internet talking about how I would make a Star Wars in a room, right? Who am I? I'm nobody. I'm just some idiot, so whatever. You know what I'm saying. But yeah. Let me look at a few of these I missed in my diatribe here. Oh, Henry Lewis. Yeah, I mean, I hope they explore more of her backstory, because it feels like an awesome one. Somebody that lost her planet like Leia. She's probably like we need to know more about Cara. I'll just put it that way. And I hope that she's in. I hope that she's in season 2, like, significantly. My biggest bummer for season 2 is that we don't have Kuiil and we don't have IG-11. Love the sacrifices, but for those of you that like Avatar: The Last Airbender, I feel like Kuiil was like Iroh, where, like, he helped everybody. You know what I mean? Or, like, he seemed like that whole like the sequence when he's putting back together IG-11 is such a memorable scene, because no battle is happening. There's no battle happening, nothing, no saying booms. He's just saying, I saw this droid. I saw what it could become. I saw potential. I gave it care. I was tender. I was patient. And like, he makes this nurse droid, right? It's hilarious. But just his personality and the way that he challenges people is to look at what he challenges the actors to look at what they really are. Like, he challenges the Mandalorian. He's like, you're a Mandalorian. Surely you can tame this pole or this tadpole or whatever. Like, and then you hear that flute kind of chill, like you know, get the Frisian feeling. Like the song's really good. You get to top the blurg. Like, he's always doing that stuff. Take care, Chosen One. Thanks so much for hanging out. So, anyways, I wish and hope we get another Kuiil, and I do have a video on Kuiil eventually coming out. I just need to figure out what the title is. I don't know what the title is. Bye, Chosen One. May the Force be with you. I wish you many. I don't know. What's something that a Jedi would wish? I wish you Kyber. That's what I wish you. Yeah, good point. Maybe Ahsoka could fill some sort of wisdom-y role. The only thing is, I just like the old Uncle Wisdom. Ooh, your time. I wish you many midichlorians. Yeah, Chad, yeah, the part was great, right? Just looking back up through the comments here. Oh, Luca, how do you feel about Snoke not being a proper character? I have two thoughts about Snoke. Well, first, I don't think he isn't a proper character. I think he was a character. He was actually a character in the movie and had a beginning and end. However, I do think one tiny thing would have made it all make sense. But it would need one tiny change to The Last Jedi, which, do I want to touch The Last Jedi? I don't know. Well, I think that's the point. So here's what the change is. I always figured that whatever this is, if you want to say he's a rebuff of Palpatine, I mean, to be frank, the First Order is quite literally modeled off of the Palpatine contingency plan, right? So they are trying to be like Palpatine in the Empire. So the internal logic makes sense that it's just another figure to fill that role for the galaxy to be afraid of. It's what it is. It's a big puppet show. So in that sense, I loved that idea. What it needed was a little hint that he wasn't the guy in charge. And all it would have taken was one scene or some other scene in The Last Jedi where Kylo or Hux comes in and a hologram fades away and we just hear Snoke being like, it will be done. Something creepy. It sounds like a familiar voice. And instead of that black onyx ring that nobody can tell is on his fingers that comes from the catacombs of Mustafar, it would be a Sith eternal ring on his finger. Those two simple things, I think, would be like, oh, okay, he's been part of the Sith eternal cult. It was there all along. We just didn't know what this meant yet. And afterwards, we finally do. Yeah, honestly, I feel like John M. makes a good point. I mean, I feel like it is supposed to be that, though. So I think Palpatine saying, I made Snoke, I have no problem with that. The pickled Snoke idea was confusing, the amount of Snokes. I didn't understand that. But I just feel like it should have been like he created Snoke, a living being that has the Force. But he's the puppet master, and Snoke still has to answer to somebody above him. We get that one tiny glimpse that he does in The Last Jedi at some point, and that's all we get. And then we go into The Rise of Skywalker. Boom, there it is. Palpatine in the almond harness or whatever. So I think that would have worked, but then again, I'd have to redo parts of The Last Jedi, which I don't want to touch. Yeah, George. That's what I always looked at, what Ben did at the end, too. So John, you said you hope to see more samurai film stuff in season 2, like how season 1 had a lot of like gunslinger type. Yeah. You know what? Me too. I think if Ahsoka's involved and like there's more battle oriented stuff, I feel like we'll be getting more episodes of that nature. But you know, we did get episode 4, which is like based off of 7 Samurai. So I'd have to imagine that they are. I'd have to imagine that they are keeping that in mind because they know that we love that stuff. Yeah, Elijah Neal, I actually love that line. It's so bassy. I actually, my son repeats it now because when he heard it on the TV, and it was like so bassy and huge to him, that now he's like, my boy. It's so funny to me. Pickle Snoke. Dude, I wanted to make a skit about Pickle Snokes, and I just was like, nah, I don't care enough. That's like when I was going through my like post Rise of Skywalker depression. I was like, oh, is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. And then I was like, I just didn't care, and I just let loose, and I was like, whatever, it's fine. I'm sure a bunch of people went through weird motions with whatever film. So, Disney Inquisitor, what's up? Welcome to the chat. Yeah, like, you know what's good about JJ Films? The audio department is always on point. Like, he made Kylo's voice sound super beefy in The Force Awakens and super beefy in The Rise of Skywalker. But, you know, good audio doesn't make a great story. So. Pickled Snokes. I wish I had like an interstitial like fake ad that just came on in the middle of my streams that was like, get your Pickled Snokes today. 1-800-EXICO. Dude, I would love a 4-hour cut of Trust. I'll never believe that there's any tomfoolery going on with the cut or anything, but like I'm just surprised that it was whittled down by JJ himself so much. But that's what happens when you don't have a lot of time. 3 months is a lot of time to flesh out the rest of a film, to be honest. Like, it still boggles my brain. Yeah, Inner Force Historian. Why don't you point that out? That was something I was thinking about for a while, where like after The Last Jedi, it was almost like a lot of essays were sort of saying the same thing. Even mine, I had the Prodigal Hero video essay and all that stuff on my channel. And then I was like, all right, what other kind of archetypal stories are there that Star Wars can explore? So like that's something that's always been on my mind. Let me answer a few questions here. All right, let's just go into question mode. Just like rapid fire, you tell me, I'll answer. So I'm gonna start with Henry. Henry Lewis, what do you hope to see in the Old Republic movie trilogy? For me, Opia, Tar Vizsla, and Revan. Honestly, I have no preconceived notions because I barely remember playing the game, or like the Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic. And the other thing is like, I've just realized the more I know and the more I think about a Star Wars movie or any Star Wars project going into it, the more that first initial experience is subdued, and I want to go into things nowadays. You know, I'm 34. I'm an old fucker for a lot of you guys. I want to go into these experiences now knowing as little as possible. So I don't even want to sometimes speculate about things. That's kind of the way I think about it. So hopefully that answers. But Revan, do I want Revan? Yes. Masked men with 2 lightsabers, a Kylo Ren-ish looking dude. Yes, I know that that's what Kylo Ren is based off of, but you know what I mean. Zachary, I do have a ranking. I don't know if you'll like it, but I will post a video soon updating my ranking of Star Wars movie. I will tell you the top 2, which are actually in the number 1 spot. I have The Empire Strikes Back and The Last Jedi tied at number 1 for very different reasons, but they're the ones I watch the most. The ones that fulfill me in a subjective way, that it hits me the right way as a fan. But yeah, somebody asked about High Republic. if you want to ask that again down below, I might have missed the first part of it. So. Rural, yeah, I know. 34. Let me tell you about my life. No, I'm just kidding. Oh my god, Mr. Fridge is in the house. So Fallen Order 2, I'll put it this way. I wanted it out yesterday. I haven't downloaded The Last of Us 2, and I don't know, like, it's not that I don't want to play it, it's just that, like, it's just not grabbing my attention much yet. Not for any political reasons. But I tell you, if Jedi Fallen Order drops tomorrow, Jedi Fallen Order 2, I'd buy it in a second. So I wish I made some content on that, on Jedi Fallen Order. I just was having so much of a blast playing it that, like, that's all I wanted to do. I didn't want to talk about it because I was like, maybe if I talk about it, I'll ruin how much fun I'm having. I don't know. So. Oh god, Nihilus. Doesn't Nihilus eat whole planets? Imagine that in the movie, like at the end of a freaking. I should play it. Wow, that's like those are a lot of caps and exclamation points. All right, John M. I'm gonna consider it. I'm gonna consider it. Wait, John M. There's already a Shakespeare book for Tross? What? That is hilarious. I need to get it. Oh. Music's still playing? Yeah, it's still playing. Oh, dude. Henry's asking the fire questions today. Lord Moment is like one of my favorite things added in the canon, period. Honestly, it might be like it might be the coolest thing added in the canon. Maybe. That whole Vader arc, the series, that should have been a show. Somebody said earlier, Vader show? Usually I kind of shy away from like redigging up the past to keep like I just don't want to see so much Vader and all that stuff until like I'm 60 years old and I just want to be like, I don't even want to see Vader anymore. I never want that to happen to me. So, but man, Lord Moment, the whole going through that portal, just everything that happens with the vision that or even what Vader looks like in the realm that he goes into. It's just like, what is that? And it's just so freaking frightening. It's like almost like imagine that being filmed, that scene where he goes through the portal and he's just the limbless red whatever the heck he is, that like weird body he is in that afterlife plane. It feels like a Lovecraftian kind of horror story, and that would be amazing. Oh, okay. Inner Force Historian. Seeker archetype. Oh yeah, you were saying Rey falls into the Seeker archetype. I'll have to check that out. Let me write that down. Usually when people say cool shit, I want to read about it. Because that is something I do not know about. And I'm always learning. Oh, that's hilarious. I bet they'll do it really well, Phantom Siren. Yeah, you know, so I've thought about R-rated Vader. Will they ever do it? I doubt it, but I'm going to propose something. If you guys follow me on Twitter, the AT Chat on Twitter, I once said that if there was ever going to be like a Rogue One to the prequels, it needs to be the Darth Plagueis book from Lucino made into a movie. Because that is literally maybe the best Star Wars book I've ever read. And I mean, let me just turn around for a second. And it counts. So I've only read like 31. I've only read like 31 EU books, right? Or 31 EU books with like 10 of the new canon books. Out of everything I've read, everything, including some of the best new stuff from like Claudia Gray, that kind of stuff. James Lucino, Darth Plagueis is 100,000% the best book I've ever read. It is so good. If you guys haven't read it, if anybody hasn't read it, just get it on Audible. The Audible is amazing. So. Oh, Henry, you asked Charles Soule if he was planning to do a Moment series? Interesting. Wait, oh, you responded. Nice. He has plans for Moment. That sounds promising. Oh yeah, the High Republic. I'm so intrigued by the High Republic, and then at the same time, I know so little. Like, I really just want to read the book. I know a lot of things have been delayed. I want to read the Charles Soule book. I mean, that first chapter was pretty interesting. And it was kind of exactly what I imagined was going to happen. Like, to kick off the great disaster, whatever it means. So, Lost Stars was so good. I almost cried reading Lost Stars. I was like, oh my god. Oh, I never read Inferno Squad. I should. There's so many freaking things. Like, so, all of you guys know Star Wars Explained, probably. I'm guessing every one of you. Alex and Molly do great stuff, and it's just amazing how much they remember. Like, I think I know about Star Wars, right? And then I go to their channel, and I'm like, I know nothing. It is just crazy how much there is to know, read. It's just... And maybe that's good. Maybe it's good that there is always going to be so much to know. Because, like, if he's still making videos, that means that there's a shitload that I still don't know. So, yeah, Lost Stars was great. I think that might have been one of the first... Was that one of the first out of the new canon? I can't remember. It's just been a while since I read it. Unfortunately, I don't have a physical copy of it. Oh, I miss playing Battlefront. I have no time. I got rid of my online and all that stuff. Although, oh yeah, let me just deviate from what I was just saying. Yes, I did hear about the Vader comic that was going to tie into Episode 9. What I hope is that this has some webish blog weirdness and whatever those like tribalistic men, like Vader worshippers or whatever. It'd be so cool to like learn about that area near Vader's castle. The webish bog, that creature was not being in the movie. That might be the biggest disservice to Tross that's ever existed. I can't even imagine how that scene is superfluous. Oh, you go to Exegol. Ah. Well, I haven't read anything. All I've seen is the tweet about it. I'll go research that after this too. Hold on. Writing on my list. Vader comic. I think it was saying video overload. No, we're good. Vader comic goes to Exegol. I gotta say, Exegol has an awesome aesthetic. I think a lot of people were like, nah, it's just a blue planet. And I'm like, nah, look at it again. This is so cool. Like, it's the antithesis of Octo 2. I remember saying that like 2 days after it came out. I was like, if there's something that's like really cool about The Rise of Skywalker, and this is when I was like kind of seething, I was like, they did a great job on the Sith planet, because it's literally Octo 2 but inverted. It has a citadel with no water, and it's like a Sith Senate, and then instead of having caretakers, they have these little Sith hobbits underground. And then you know, get the art book and all that stuff, and the making of, and the interviews, and they actually wanted it to be the antithesis to Octo 2. And I was like, yes. It was just very validating. Yeah, Zeno, sure. So, well, if you guys have seen the art of The Rise of Skywalker, there are production stills of the Webish Bog scene between Kylo Ren and this creature. It's a, I don't know, spider-looking. It kind of looks like a hybrid between E.T.'s head and a spider, with a bit more of a Star Wars-y, eyeball-y face. And that thing is on top of a giant pig-looking thing that floats in the water. And I just can't imagine that being taken out for any good reason, even though they told us that They just didn't need it, right? It doesn't make sense to me because in the book, it literally explains why Ben ends up where he ends up at the end of the movie. If proceeding down the path that he is on, this is what he's told by the Webish Bog. If he proceeds on the path he was on, he will find his true self. You can take that however you want, but that's what happens. And on top of that, there are some lines from Palpatine, and I think the Webish Bog, where like it's inferred that like no matter what he does at the end of his path, he's still always destined to die. So there's almost like this weird like idea that like he was always destined to return, and also like unfortunately still die in the light. Like it's like this weird perfect introduction to why what happens at the end happens. And honestly, I feel like we just didn't get enough maskless Kylo Ren talking, thinking, emoting, reacting, and I would have loved just to see him being like, look, I got no time, I need to go find my grandpa or my grandpa's old master. You know what I'm saying? Like he's kind of like brute against this Webish Bog thing, thinking that he's like, you know, the prince, and he doesn't have to listen or do any sort of ceremony that this Webish Bog thing wants. And it would have been pretty neat. And also, the music for that scene is on the purchasable physical media, I believe. Because, as you know, if you have the physical media, the score is fundamentally different when you listen to it on DVD, on CD, than what happens in the movie. So, pretty sure the first opening act, like, at least in November 25th, or like before the end, was a little bit more extended with the Pride stuff and all that. That's would have loved it. Should have stayed in. That's also going to be in my video. That's going to be out in like 2 days. So all the deleted scenes, that should have stayed in. Yeah, I mean, I like the Lightning Planet 2 aspect. That was pretty cool. And I love how they use the lightning sounds almost musically. As like, you know, it's not every single lightning hit, but like some of them are just like that. It sounds like Freddy Krueger's metal nails on a chalkboard or something like that. It's like super creepy. Oh yeah, and more Knights Ren. Yeah, that would have been great too. But I kind of figured that I literally feel like, oh, don't worry, Stuart. I'm gonna be going this for a little bit longer, but I'll hang out for a bit. I feel like the Knights of Ren had a more interesting role in the book. They actually did some stuff in the book, which is cool, like on Kijimi. But to me, I just feel like they were like the Gamorrean guards of the Rise of Skywalker. Just useless brutes, kind of. So. Yeah, Endless, yeah, actually, I mean, it brought a lot of Legend stuff back, which was like really fun for a lot of people. Now, like, they're like, finally, these things are back in canon. But like, I guess I don't really think of Star Wars in a categorized way like that. To me, it's still, oh, it's 12:30 p.m. Oh, early. Or is it a.m.? I don't know. I was gonna say, man, yeah, a lot of people were pumped that like these planets came back, and because it was like, yeah, now it's canon again. But like, I consider Plagueis to be canon, right? That's in my canon. I still believe that to be what happened before the Phantom Menace. Nobody will convince me otherwise, unless I guess they make a movie that tells me that that's not what happens. But for now, that's what happens. Octhrough. That's hilarious. Yo, what's up, George? I know, dude. It's been a long time. I mean, honestly, I don't think I haven't even streamed since February. I like planned on doing it once a week, and then like everything hit the fan in the world. So that's what happens. Yeah, for me it's 7:40 p.m. So I guess for like the last couple of minutes, what do you guys want to see in season 2 of The Mandalorian? Oh, Darth Mean Boy. I'd have to bust out my visual dictionary from the Rise of Skywalker, but the whole Exegol page and then the thing on the Sith troopers and all that stuff just goes down all these Sith Lords names that are like, they're named after ancient Sith Lords that like were in the EU. I think Tenebris was one of them. So yeah. Yeah, exactly, Molly. 2020 was a wash. I'm trying to make it better, guys. I can't spread COVID this way. So Lord Vader wants to see Vader. Of course. So yeah, if Boba Fett comes back, I hope he's Cobb Vanth. I do not want it to be actually Boba Fett, personally. I won't like make a stink about it if it actually is Boba Fett. I just hope it makes sense. That's all. Hey, maybe they will, Henry. You never know. I feel like there was there's kind of like a love triangle going on in episode 4 between him, the native, who maybe the native lady that like he was like getting the feels for. I mean, she knows how to shoot. Maybe she's ex-Imperial and she's hiding out on that planet. Like something was super off about her knowing how to shoot, right? And I love that. Like what's going on with that lady? Maybe we'll find out. Yeah, there we go. Ndedu, Tanis, Tenebris, Revan. Yep. Even though, like, technically, some of the Clone Wars episodes had Revan, or I'm sorry, a part of a Mortis episode, I believe, did originally have Revan, but then it didn't. So. Oh, nice, George. Dude, I can't wait to just get the pack of The Mandalorian now that it's going to be coming out in physical release. Yeah, Stuart, I'm with you. I don't want to ruin the mystery of Yoda. Like, it's fine to see species of Yoda. I think there are some things which should never be explained. I know some people might disagree, but I feel like it's like midi-chlorians. Do I care that they were brought in? No, because actually, in some ways, now like with the Clone Wars and like the last episode of season 6, like when Yoda goes to whatever. I'm just forgetting every terminology ever. Anyways, I like how they explained how the Force talks to us and how we connect back through these sort of mitochondrial looking things. So, but at the end of the day, like, I also didn't care as a 10 or 12, I don't know, 13-year-old. I didn't care about the explanation because I didn't need them. But as an older person that can look back and kind of create weird theories about how the Force works and the power of the Force, it's interesting to see the scientific aspect that was brought into it. So, yeah, I don't know. Some mysteries should stay mysteries. The only mystery I want solved, I want to know, I need a story about those ancient Jedi books. I need those to be explored more than just Rey flipping a page over to her train. My biggest regrets, or the biggest thing I wish happened in the sequel trilogy, is just more information on the original Jedi text. That would have been so freaking amazing. And like, maybe that's gonna happen. Maybe they'll release the ancient Jedi texts in some sort of like collector's volume. That'd be amazing. That's a pipe dream. So. Yeah, that's right, Stuart. Yeah, you know, it's hard to say if people would have even really liked George Lucas's. Like, honestly, this is exactly what I think would have happened if George Lucas released his movies. Instead of there being these people ruined George Lucas's legacy, it would have been we should have never let George Lucas back. It would have been that. It would have been monetized. It would have been trending. there would have been 5,000 videos and breakdowns, 3-hour-long live streams on why he ruined more of his own trilogy, right? And then there would be people that were vehemently obsessed with it. But yeah, it's funny to me. It's like, I don't know if you guys follow Corey's Datapad. He's a really awesome channel, awesome dude. But he said it best the other day where he's like, I'm pretty sure George is not going to return to a franchise that he sold because of the thing that is now again happening to Kathleen Kennedy. I don't think he wants any part of it. And that's like with people saying, like, you know, I'm just going to call him Doomcake. I don't want to give him the benefit of pronouncing his actual stage name. That's his stage name. And, you know, the false informers out there that think it's hilarious to make money off of false information, I just think it's weird. Oh, I didn't realize music was not playing. So yeah, anyways, I think that about does it for today. It's like almost 8. I'm sure people have something to do. You listen to me yap for like an hour and 17 minutes now, and there's nothing up with Kathleen Kennedy. It's just the internet wants, you know what the internet is. So basically, here's what I'm going to say. Expect this to be a regularly occurring thing now that it's not horrible to sit in my office anymore. And what I want to try to do, what is today, Tuesday? What I want to try to do is have like my 2 videos a week, which I usually do. 2 regular videos. I'm hoping to not do any more 24-minute videos for a while, because those take way too long. And then just 1 or 2 streams a week just to catch up with you guys, because I think this is fun. And then the next goal for the next stream, since it looks like the poll is probably going to end with it being solo, is a live watch with me. Let's watch along with Solo Star Wars Story. So that's the goal for my next stream coming up. So the goal is, you know, all you guys get into your Amazons or whatever, go to Amazon, go to wherever, and we'll just get to the right place, and then we'll hit Doomcake. We'll get to the right place, we'll hit play, and then we'll just watch the movie together and just have a good time. I think that'll be awesome. Yeah, I mean, like everybody knows, like, it's I don't know. It's so contentious to like certain Star Wars films. To me, I think it's silly, but like, whatever. Who cares? But guys, it's been so awesome hanging out with you. I'm not going to run down the list of so many of you hanging out tonight. But yeah, thank you so much for listening to me blab. And I'm sure it was decent for not being on the air for 6 months. And yeah, I'll see you guys in about 5 days. So may the Force be with you. And AT-AT is signing off.